For the other question, like what is something that people might not have played that is still approachable today? For now, without hesitation, my answer would be Romancing Saga 2, who got a remake not too long ago. If you're really, if you're experienced in JRPGs, that game is just so much bigger and so much more complete and complex and filled with hidden secrets and possibilities. I don't think there's a single person who can say they know everything about Romancing Saga 2. And usually when there's a remake, the things they change are less good than the original, right? Looking at you, Final Fantasy VII Remake. But Romancing Saga 2 is the greatest remake of all time. Because they addressed some of the... It's a bit like Outward, where there were things about the premise of the game that meant that it would have some flaws. So, spoiler alert, in Romancing Saga 2, you play multiple generations. But that means that you cannot be all that attached to your characters, because eventually you play the next line of characters. You reform your whole party multiple times throughout one playthrough. And that means you get to try so many cool builds and team formation and everything. There's just so much to explore. But your characters are kind of bland. And so the story in itself kind of feels like just an excuse to explore its systems and mechanics. Well, in the remake, they couldn't make the characters have more personality, but they made a more complex story for the antagonists that you follow through the whole story. And so now the characters that you learn to discover are the enemies that you're chasing after. That is fucking genius. That is wonderful. And just sets the table better for one of the most ambitious, most systemic, most toy box, sandboxy experience of all time. And they just brought in a package that is like addressing so much of the quality of life issues that the game had, because it was a Super Nintendo game, Japan only. And now we've got this version that has addressed its single most important weakness, which is that narratively it felt dry. And they just added quality of life and better graphics and more accessible. And what's crazy is, like, we're talking about a game that is top down, which is, you know, those tile sets to make towns and such, and they just made replicas of that but in 3D. But like the first time I went out and looked at the city, I recognized it. But from this perspective of being in third person, there's such the attention to detail, the love, the passion that went into like the respect for the original content. If you like yourself, you must play Romancing Saga 2.
I will give it a try. It's been on my watch list. I haven't got round to it yet.
I got the writer for Outward 1. Like, I got him to play it, and he's going crazy over it.